So we can come onto our backs. And you can bend your knees, you can straighten your legs, you can have the soles of your feet together and your knees out to the side. Just find the posture that's going to allow you to begin to relax. And if it's comfortable for you, you can let the eyes close. Notice the weight of your body on the ground. See if you can surrender your weight. Notice your breath. Initially, just checking in with how it is. And let the belly be soft and relaxed. And then breathe deeply into the belly, very intentionally feeling the swell of the abdomen as you inhale. And the relaxation as you exhale. And then invite the breath to move from the belly into the ribs. Wait till the belly has fully expanded. And then just take in more air, letting the ribs expand. And then continue to allow the breath to come fully into the lungs, including the tops of the lungs, as you let the chest expand. First the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. The exhale happens in the reverse order. First the chest, then the ribs, then the belly. Feeling the gentle effort of the inhale and the relaxation of the exhale. And then without changing the breath in any way, we'll bend the knees and lift the feet to the height of the knees, pulling the navel down to the spine, pressing the lower back into the ground. Continue to follow the rhythm of your breath, and then slowly Lower one foot to the ground while keeping the lower back pressed down, and then lift the leg back up. As you lower the leg, all the movement is coming at the hip flexor, so the knee doesn't bend any more than it is in the starting position. And you're really pulling your belly down into your back so that you're pressing the flat of your back into the floor and not letting it arch away even the slightest bit, which it will want to do when the foot lowers. And see if the breath can be a support to you, maybe inhaling as you lower and exhaling as you lift, or maybe exhaling as you lower and inhaling as you lift. What works for you? Let's do one more on each side. And hug the knees into the chest. Feel the belly relaxing, the breath becoming effortless again. And then let's open the knees out to the side, resting the hands at the insides of the legs. The feet can just dangle in the air. And take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, really let the weight of your hands be heavy on your legs and surrender the legs below the weight of the hands. Just really let them drop and open. And feel the fullness of your breath, and maybe if the eyes are closed, you can really notice where the inhale lands within the context of this shape. Okay, and then release the left foot to the ground. And then we're going to bring the right foot alongside the right hip. So as you can see, I like to swing a little bit over to the left and then grab that right foot and pull it in toward the right buttock and then lay back down. And for my body, the front of the foot is able to rest on the ground. But for you, it may be maybe the inner edge of the foot, or just see what you're able to do here. And then we want to keep the left foot just slightly pressing down into the ground to help kind of curl the tailbone up. And then reach the right knee away from you and down. It's really important to keep the left knee bent. And I guess I didn't explain, not just bent, but bent and facing up to the sky so that the foot is flat on the ground. So the left foot is on the ground. The right foot is on the ground too, but maybe you're on the front of the foot or the instep. And then maybe you want to place your right hand on your right heel and push away from you. So that'll both lengthen the spine and maybe deepen the stretch in that right leg. Or maybe just focusing on aiming the knee down and away. And the more you tuck the tailbone, the more you'll feel the stretch. And again, pressing down into the left foot is a good help for that tuck of the tailbone. The left arm can just relax. Okay, if you're using your right hand, release that. And maybe rock a little bit over to the left side to help release the right foot. And just place that right ankle on top of the left thigh, just below the knee. Then we'll lift the left foot and clasp the hands behind the back of the left leg. And then flex both feet. And do your best to relax that right hip. Just exhale and intentionally soften. And then inhale nice and deep and slow, and let your mind kind of trace the feeling of the breath filling into the body. And then on an exhale, push your left foot toward your right foot. And if you feel like that is deep in the stretch, just notice if the right hip has tightened in response. And then continue to relax into that right hip if you can. Breathing spaciousness in and surrendering as you exhale. Just allow as the left foot presses to the right foot. We'll stay here for several more breaths. And then release the right foot to the ground with the knee bent. And extend the left leg straight up. And point and flex that left foot. Stay with this steady, slow, rhythmic breath. It's kind of like our background to everything we do throughout the class. Unless we do some other kind of special breathing, this slow, deep, 3-part yogic breath not only provides kind of like the background music to everything that we do. In some cases, it's not even in the background. You can really just help your body and mind relax by focusing on the breath, bringing it to the foreground. And then we'll hold the foot in the flex position and really push up through the heel. And then as you inhale, press the back of the leg into the hands and the hands into the back of the leg. And then exhale and draw the leg toward you. Now, if your left leg is completely straight, you can straighten your right leg out onto the ground, flexing that foot as well. Inhale, pressing the leg into the hands and the hands into the leg. And exhale, drawing the leg in toward the belly. When you inhale, you can think about your two heels reaching away from each other. Try your best to just relax on your exhales. Beautiful. If the right leg was straightened, bend it again and just have the right foot on the floor with the knee facing up. And then bend that left leg. Grab hold, trying to tuck that left foot under as the foot alongside the hip. And then try your best to lay the knee down on the ground. You can think about reaching it away from you and down. And then we'll press gently into the right foot to help that little tucking of the pelvis, the tailbone curling up. And then you can add the left hand to the left heel and start to press that heel away from you toward the knee. The right hand is relaxed. And the breath is deep and slow. If you're using the hand, put and place the ankle onto the thigh, just above the knee, or I guess in this position below the knee. Then clasp the hands behind the back of the right leg and flex both feet. Breathe in deeply, filling the body, softening that left hip. And try to stay relaxed as you exhale and press the right heel toward the left foot. Maintaining both feet flexed. trying to stay soft and not resisting in that left hip. Use the breath to help you feel into the malleability of the body and just encourage that kind of fluid movement with the breath. Then release the left foot onto the ground with the knee bent and facing up. And straighten the right leg. Then point and flex. Good. Now hold the flex position. We'll start keeping the left foot on the ground. And inhale and press up through the right heel, pushing the back of the right leg into the clasp of your hands. And then exhale and just draw the leg in toward the belly. And if that right leg is straight, then you straighten the left leg and flex. And then when you inhale, it's almost like the two heels are reaching away from each other. Exhale, the belly draws in and relaxes. And then bend the knee, release your hands. Bend the other knee if the leg was straight. And then just roll over onto your side. Rest your head on your arms. And then push into the hand that's in front of you to lift yourself up. And your legs should be kind of in a pinwheel position. And we're going to stay that way. Now, some of you will have your right foot behind you. Some of you will have your left foot behind you. It's fine. Wherever you are, we're just going to be here. Bringing one hand to the knee and one hand to the foot. And then we'll rock from side to side. And come back to stillness. Sit bones on the ground. And then we're going to inhale. So you're all going to do this. So Rod, we're in a pinwheel position with the legs. So I have my left foot alongside my left hip and my right foot alongside the knee. And some of you may be the other way around. That's fine. So it's going to be a little bit hard to describe because we may not all be in the same position, but the hand that is corresponding with the knee that's bent out to the side, as opposed to the knee that's kind of facing forward, we're going to open that arm out to the side. Good. And then exhale and turn in that same direction and see if you can reach that hand back and grab hold of your other foot. If you can't, just place it down on the ground as close to that foot as you can. Good. And lift tall through the crown of the head, breathing in slow and long. And then when you exhale, maybe that other hand presses a little bit into that knee or leg, taking you a little bit more into the twist. And then stay in the position that you're in, but turn your head the other way. Notice if anything changes besides just the obvious that your head is turned the other way. See if that has impacted anything else in your body. Good. And then release everything back around to the front. Just take a moment and just feel the unraveling. And then whichever foot is tucked behind you, just take that out to the side. The other foot tucks in. And then inhale, lifting that same arm that corresponds to the straight leg all the way up. And then exhale, bringing the arm down and inside the thigh. Take a breath in. And when you exhale, press the back of the arm to the inside of the thigh and roll the body. Maybe let's try it this way. Bring your other hand to the side of your ribs, closer to your straight leg. And feel your breath coming into that hand. And then when you exhale, pull in the other direction with those ribs. Good. Take the gaze up. And then you can release that free hand up and over. Press down into your straight leg and out through that heel. Ground through your other sit bone. And reach long through the hand. Feel the breath going all the way from the belly to the chest. On an inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. And then with your breath, move your legs into a pinwheel on the other side. Having one foot alongside the hip, kind of like up against the thigh. And arm that corresponds to the foot that's up against the thigh. Inhale and bring that out to the side. And then exhale, reach behind you, look behind you, and see if that hand can
Z, we can't hear you. I think you may be frozen.
thank you. So we're looking over the shoulder and lifting tall through the crown of the head. And then look over the other shoulder. Notice what changes. How does it feel different? Maybe it doesn't. Release the back hand, coming back around to the front, and just let twist unravel for a moment. Feeling what the body does. Taking that foot that's behind you, near your buttocks, and extending it out, straightening that leg. Flexing that foot and coming squarely onto your sit bones. Inhale, reaching up through the arm that corresponds to the straight leg. And then exhale, bringing the arm to the inside. And bringing the other hand across to the side by the lower ribs. And take a breath into that hand. And then when you exhale, pull as though you're pulling those ribs over toward the other ones. Good. And then release the hand off the ribs and extend it overhead. Press out through the heel and down through the leg and ground through the sit bone. So that when you reach out the hand, away from the bone, creating leg holes from the buttocks to the fingers. And inhale up. Exhale, release. And fold the leg in. Maybe you want to come into a half lotus with one foot on top, or maybe easy pose with both feet on the ground, whatever's going to work for you. Maybe pull the flesh of the buttocks back behind the sit bones. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, folding forward, relaxing over. Noticing how the breath finds space, even with the belly kind of crowded in the forward bend. Maintaining the intention to breathe in that 3-part breath and seeing how the breath actually shows up. On the exhales, you can gently draw the navel toward the spine. Think about the forehead releasing toward the ground. And then start to walk the hands in, rolling yourself up, using an inhale to reach out. Exhale the arms down. Which leg is in front? Releasing the legs, shaking them out. And then crossing them again with the other leg in front. Pulling the sit bones, the flesh back behind the sit bones again, sitting nice and tall. And then this time we're going to inhale the arms out to the sides. Exhale and clasp the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulder blades in toward each other, moving the heels of the hands toward each other. Inhale into the chest. Exhale and fold forward, lifting the clasped hands up. Deep breath in, drawing the navel toward the spine as you exhale. Literally try to fold your shoulder blades in toward the spine. And then on an inhale, lift yourself up, reach the arms up. Exhale the hands together at the heart. Release the hands to the ground in front of you, flipping over your feet, coming onto hands and knees. Lining hands up on the shoulders, knees up under the hips. Letting the belly drop down as we breathe into the belly, letting the ribs and chest
lift and expand as the breath continues to roll up the body, eyes reaching up, exhaling,
Tailbone down, belly lifting, head dropping, rounding the back. Just continuing, letting the breath set the pace,
and letting the body kind of ripple with the flow of the breath.
so it's not one motion to arch and one motion to round. It's
A gradual movement from the bottom of the spine to the top of the spine.
It's really helpful to the spine to kind of more articulate the movement one vertebra at a time, like that.
And then we make sure we don't leave any part out.
And on your next inhale, come back to neutral spine, table position. And then start to walk the hands forward, leaving the hips over the knees. So you're not sending the hips back, you're not sending the hips forward. Keep them lined up over the knees and just send the arms out and let the chest drop down. Maybe the forehead comes to the floor. If you have the flexibility, maybe the chin comes to the floor. Or if you want to deepen even more, maybe the cheek can come rest. And then just feel like you're pulling your hips back a little. Feel the deepening of your breath and how it shows up inside the body in this puppy pose. And if you are on one cheek, switch to the other. And then if you're on the cheek, come back to center. We'll all walk the hands in, coming back to table. Okay. Now, bring the hands back a bit, keeping them shoulder width apart, just walking them toward the legs, and then place the crown of your head on the ground between the two hands and the top of the head. And the placement of the hands is such so that when the elbows bend, the elbows are lined up with the wrists. So just open the eyes and take a look at the arms. They should be more or less in right angles, with the bend at the elbow wider than your thighs, because your hands are wider than your knees. Good. So just finding the weight now, coming into the hands, and then curl the toes under and lift the knees. And start to walk the feet toward the hands, lifting the hips, lifting the hips, and then try to place the knees on top of the shelves created by your elbows and your arms. If you're doing the mechanics right, the posture is absolutely effortless to lift your feet off the ground and just balance here on your head and your hands. If your elbows are out to the side at all, then it's going to be a lot harder. So the key is just keeping the elbows in line with the wrists, and any alternative posture that you want to be doing is fine. So the crown of the head is on the ground. I'm not sure what you're doing there, Rod, but I'm sure you know what you're doing and it's fine. It's kind of a free-for-all. Teresa's gonna do her thing, and Ming, I have no idea what she's doing. Yeah, but if you're interested in doing the half headstand, then great. And I guess we can all come out of whatever it is that we're doing and come in and just sit on the feet for a moment. So in case you were doing that headstand or half headstand and the wrists are feeling it, we'll just bring the backs of the hands together, joining the wrists, and then pressing the elbows down toward the ground, just stretching the wrists this way. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the breath nice and full. Good. And then just circle the hands around. This always feels good for those of you who are on the wrists can get pretty overused. And then circle the other way. Beautiful. And then just let that go. And then bring the hands to the ground and walk them a little bit in front of the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes under. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, lift the knees, but keep the knees bent. And push forward into the hands and really feel like you're sending your hips back. Imagine that you're trying to line your hips over your heels. And pull your shoulders down into your body so you're not creating the length by making space in the shoulders. We want to keep the shoulder integrity. Good. And then let the head hang down. Let the ribs drop toward the thighs. And then slowly straighten the legs, pressing the heels down, pressing the thighs back. And then as you inhale, you can push forward into the hands and continue to lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, you can lift your navel and press your heels down a little bit more. What's it like to have the intention to breathe your 3-part breath from belly to ribs to chest while your body is upside down? And then walk the feet up to the hands. Soften the knees, tuck the chin, roll yourself up. Reach up. Inhaling and lifting the arms up. And exhaling down. Again, up. And exhale, relax down. One more time. And let the eyes close, let the arms rest. Feel the feet heavy on the ground. Feel the breath flowing through the body. And then shift weight into the left foot. Lift the left arm up. Really feeling that whole line from the foot to the fingers. Gently open the eyes and find a spot in front of you. And let your gaze rest on that spot. Turn the right palm away from you. And then lift the right foot and place the top of the foot into the palm, keeping the palm facing away from you. And then begin to kick the foot back. Reach up through the left pinky. Breathe into your heart. Ground through your standing leg. Lift tall. Eyes. Feel the feet. Feel the breath. Shift the weight into your right foot and lift the right arm up. Feeling the right leg moving down into the earth and the right arm lifting up to the sky. The eyes open softly, resting on a spot in front of you. Turn the left palm to face away from you. And then place the left foot into the hand, keeping the hand turned out. And start to kick that left foot back and up. And don't bend forward. I see a lot of people doing this, not you guys. You're doing great. Stay lifted through the torso, reaching up through that right pinky. Breathe in belly, ribs, chest. Lock your eyes. Really steady your mind. Beautiful. And release. Close the eyes. Just roll the shoulders. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chin to the chest. Let the knees soften. And slowly roll yourself down like a rag doll. Once the hands come to the ground, you can let the heels lift and the buttocks lower, bringing it all the way down to the ground. Coming all the way onto your back. Bending the knees, tucking the hips under, then releasing the legs, shaking them out. Resting the arms out away from the body with the palms up. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the mouth, releasing into the ground. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, releasing the jaw. And inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, releasing the mind, letting go of the thoughts, past, the future. Coming into this moment, using the breath to anchor the mind into this very experience right now. So we let the breath be however it is. You don't have to try to breathe. Breath just breathes. Resting the awareness. See if the mind can follow the breath from the beginning of the inhale to the end of the inhale without wandering. And then from the beginning of the exhale to the end of the exhale, staying with the breath. And then the next breath. Notice if there's a tendency to control the breath, and just remember to relax again. Noticing that the mind may wander away from the breath at times, and when you notice that, then that's great. That means the mind is back, and just return it to the breath again. Deeply relaxed, letting go, letting go, letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath, stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest and rock from side to side, massaging your back with the ground. And then foot to foot. Roll over onto your side, resting your head on your underside arm. And slowly bringing yourself up to sitting. Releasing down to the sit bones, lifting tall through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, the hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.